Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Football Rig, yo. Another show of the Arsenal News Drill Down with the beautiful panelists here, an elite panelists. We have Giovanni in the building. We also have BBK, and guess who decided to show up as well? We have WaffleDon in the building as well. Big up, my brother.
Big up, man. Big up,
guys. Yeah, man, guys, make sure you guys go subscribe to them as well. All the channels are in the description, so go show them some love and support. They are here giving you a lot of their time as well as their elite opinion. So tonight we're going to break down a storm of talking points surrounding the Arsenal season, transfer plans, and the squad's readiness, and the upcoming fixtures as well. The debate around Arsenal's play style. There has been a lot of things in the social media and talk sport, and you know, and I have good things for you to show as well. John Obi Mikel's take, which is mad in my opinion, but we're gonna drill it down as well, where he mentioned it's illegal, the dark art. Man, or simply championship mentality. The panel will tell us this. At the same time, major squad changes could be coming in the summer that I would like to address the panel. Also, the chat to let us know their opinion about those links, if they are worthy to pursue, if we should just stuck them, you know. Reports suggest some players like Calafiori, Leandro, Trossard as well. A lot of potential that they might leave. And you know what? But departure may be open the door for huge also rivals at the same time. You know, the likes of, I don't want to mention them, but anyways, massive summer moves it could be for Arsenal. This is Arsenal News Drill Down Football. Let's go into it, man. First of all, my panel, how are you doing, guys? How are you guys doing today? How are you feeling?
Very good. Very good.
All good, bro.
All right. What about you, Gianni? BBK? You guys are all good, settled?
Yeah, man. Yeah. All good, man. Football aside, life is pretty good, you know. Big you up, man. Thanks for having me on.
Exactly. Football aside.
Yeah, football aside. Football is a big part of your life still. It kind of drags it down a bit. But yeah, man.
It is. Especially the mood. I mean, the mood swings with Arsenal currently. It just makes me nuts, bro. The way they perform sometimes. We're going to talk all about this. But anyways, I want to get right into it, guys. There was, I don't know if you guys watched it, what Obi Mikel said about Arsenal, and it went, crazy in the internet, and it went wild. So I'm gonna put it there for the people who didn't see it, and I want also the panel's opinion about it. So I'm gonna pull up the video right now.
Right now, they depend solely on corner kicks. You have spent almost $1 billion. Mikel Arteta, almost $1 billion. And you're telling me the only way you can win games is through corner kicks? You look at the corner kicks, the holding players.
Do you think the players enjoy
it? The creativity that they have, the potentials that they have, it's all gone out of the window. We don't see them anymore because they depend solely on corner kicks.
If they win it, will you recognise Arsenal as Premier League champions?
No, I wouldn't. Because for me, they've cheated their way to win in the Premier League. It's illegal the way they win in games. It's illegal. We don't want to see that in the game. I think 13 games this season, when they haven't scored set pieces, they won 3 of those games. It shows you how much they depend solely on corner kicks.
All right. Before I get to the panel and their opinion, I want to just play this for John Obi Mikel. All that, man, all that. That's what I'm gonna tell John Obi Mikel. But first, I want to go through the panel, what they think about it. Taryn, give me your thoughts.
I don't know what he said because I went on mute when he was talking. You know, so whatever. I'm muted. Nah, I'm just fucking around. Listen, like, if you played the Troy Deeney clip earlier, when like these men know what they're doing. They're just trying to get clout in it. Like Troy Deeney, when he played, his only highlights when he talked about Arsenal. You fat fuck. Like the thing is, John Obi Mikel, does he remember that he played for Mourinho? Let me remind this guy that you meet the benchmark, right? I'm gonna tell John Obi Mikel that the dentist that can't fix your fucked up teeth probably graduated at the bottom of his class, but he met the benchmark and he became a dentist. The guy who graduates at the bottom of flight school, you still got to call him pilot. They meet the benchmark. We meet the benchmark to become Premier League champions. Like, where are we supposed to go to get his approval to make the Premier League count? He won't recognize it. So the Premier League isn't valid unless John Obi Mikel recognizes it. I don't know why we give these men airtime, you know. And this is probably what they want, right? Say Arsenal, the Arsenal content creators will pick it up and run with it, but cry more, bro. I don't care. There are certain things that I care less about, and this is one of them. Like, I couldn't talk about Chelsea. No one would care, innit? You just took 5 away at Paris. Like, talk about that. It's your team. That's your bread and butter. But these men know if they talk about Arsenal, they will get clicks. So I'm not bothered either way. I just don't care too much what them men gotta say.
Speaking of clicks, I want to address also this question to Gianni and WaffleDon. Whoever wants to go first. By the way, I think WaffleDon is frozen there. We'll go to Gianni first. So Gianni, is it like Terrence said? Is he clickbaiting? Is he rage baiting? Is it just for the attraction from the media? Or do you actually agree with him that Arsenal, play style is a bit dull and we're solely, as he mentioned, that we're relying on set pieces to get our wins? What's your thoughts, and where do you stand?
I think it's a part of the overall bigger question of what's been going on in the Premier League. He has some points that we have to acknowledge. Now, obviously, the Premier League hasn't outlawed what we've been doing, so you can't say it's cheating. However, to the bigger talking point is, I've said this across everybody's channels. It's funny on how people don't like what John Obi Mikel has said, but once when all the European referees in the Champions League, for example, in this first knockout round, told all the Premier League teams at different times that that's not being allowed, every single Premier League team suffered in their game in the Champions League. So, I mean, there is a point to be made about what he's saying about how we've spent $1 billion and we're relying on corner kicks. And then you saw Havertz and other guys get yellow cards because they're not allowing it. So there's a point to be made there. But at the same time, I mean, again, like to echo what Terrence said, you played for Mourinho. You did play for Mourinho. Let's be honest here. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's winning and you're upset by it because Chelsea's fallen off and Chelsea's no longer the team that he was a part of, that's not our problem. If they're not going to make a rule about it midway through the season that it's illegal, then we can play it if we want. And if we win, it is what it is. I mean, again, as far as I'm concerned, we're over 20 years without this Premier League title. At this point, I don't care what we play to win because it's in the business half of the season. So that's my take. But he does have some points. He does make some valid points, though.
Which points?
The problem is he's speaking as if he has an epiphany and he's telling us something we don't know.
Right.
Like we do content daily and we say this, so that is because he says it's supposed to be breaking news. Like, brother, there is enough shit going on at Chelsea that you can talk about. You just held 5. You are $2 billion spent, and you're nowhere near the Premier League.
Taryn, you're missing the point. I mean, they don't get views and clicks. If they talk about
Chelsea. This is why I get annoyed when we give it to them.
Yeah. So WaffleDon, same question to you, and how do you feel about this? Do you think it is something that we do and we just rely on dark arts? As I mean, even Gianni was saying this a couple of weeks ago, where we spent $1 billion. And yet we don't look sound when we play, especially in the attacking part of our game.
Let's take away for a second the money what we spent for a moment, yeah, because at the end of the day, these guys are footballers. At the end of the day, and they're not children. Yeah, I've got big adult children. I call them, yeah, that between right and wrong. Yeah, so. If my child said to me, yeah, that if my child come to me and they put the chicken straight in the oven, yeah, I cuss their ass. And the reason why, because they've seen me seasoning my chicken, and BBK will know about it, and you know about it. All you man know about this. They know about seasoning the chicken and the meat, yeah. They know about that and wash it and making sure the meat clean and all them thing there with the vinegar and the lime, and they know about all of this. So there has to be a certain accountability on the players also as well. Yes, I was with BBK earlier and he was saying that, Magneto, Arteta, he controls everything, life, all to be there. But at the end of the day, these players, yeah, when they're on that pitch and they cross that white line, they have to make certain decisions, yeah? When they're in front of goal, Arteta not telling them to miss. He's not doing that with his arm and, I've missed. Yeah, there's certain things, yeah, that the players need to take accountability for. This Mikel brother, yeah, he should understand the dark arts. He should understand. He was a defensive midfielder, one of the most unattractive defensive midfielders ever. Yeah, he had a great back line behind him. Yeah, so he didn't really have to do much. Sideway passer he was. Yeah, and he wants to talk on my club. It's a hatred, isn't it? Arsenal and Chelsea, there's no love lost between both clubs. Yeah, you're not going to get a Chelsea man complimenting us. Maybe a Joe Cole, maybe, I don't know, but you're not going to get this brother talking good things about Arsenal. And to be honest, yeah, I really ain't got time to really even be wasting my energy talking
But
about
WaffleDon, he went even further. He went even further, saying, I mean, the pundits there asked him, "Are you going to recognize Arsenal as champions if they do win the title?" And he said, "No, not in this way." So you can see clearly he's blind hating Arsenal and just blindly hating Arsenal and saying that it doesn't matter.
Sammy, let me ask you a question. Question. Yeah, there was a stream with Rants and Lee Gunner yesterday or the day before, something like that. And literally, Rants is saying the same thing. We're the worst champ. We will be the worst champions.
Yeah.
We will be the worst.
Yeah, you're right.
That. It's pure agenda driven, and we know this already. So what? I don't care. I don't care if we win the league, yeah, by penalties. Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, it's a result-based business. Once we get over the line, then we can, maybe look at next season and have a reflection of this season. But we need to get over the line. And if this is one of the things that's getting us over the line, then we need to do that. But there are things that I had the discussion with BBK earlier, and I've spoken on Gianni as well, that the experiments, we need to start bringing in certain players, yeah, like the Dowmans. I can't even speak on one now. We need some players that have some little je ne sais quoi to just give us a little something, because I don't believe the players that we have right now are bringing that X factor, and that's one of my issues. Is there's no X factor in the team right now.
Okay, well, you heard it all, guys. Anything you want to add about this before we move on to the next topic? Because I think this is normal now. This is like the like a normal Sunday for Arsenal to hear pundits and all of these craps talking shit about Arsenal and how we play in the dark arts. And even though, they should, like you guys said, I mean, they should focus on Chelsea, for example, how they capitulated, and Spurs, how they capitulate as well against Atletico Madrid. And this is, shameful for the English teams as well. And I told a couple of Chelsea fans, even in live streams, I said, hey, listen, man, from a brother to a brother, man, this is how you represent London. You don't get smoked 5, and then you want to call me dark arts.
A sensible journalist would ask him, so you rather play beautiful football like Chelsea and finish 5th, or you rather play shit football and be a champion? You rather be educated and broke, or you rather be dumb and rich?
Dumb and rich.
He's getting way too much. He's getting way too much airtime, man. That's what I'm saying. We're feeding into what he is doing. Now, you do better content than that motherfucker. You, Sammy. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment, even though I feel it's
right. But what I'm saying, he is not clipping up Sammy for content, and I think you should, value your time better than to, stoop low to these Chelsea man. Fuck them.
Okay, fair enough, bro. Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's all regarding Obi Mikel's take and insanity that we just heard. He's saying it's illegal. It's a dark card, man. I'll say, man, just suck on it, for all I care. But let's talk about our club and the players that they might actually leave Arsenal Football Club. And I want Gianni's take on this one, which is Calafiori. Since I'm gonna bring you the Italian brother. I don't know if you're muted or anything because I can't hear you, Gianni. Can you talk?
Damn, you didn't kick them out.
Oh man, see.
I did not. Hey, I did not do that, man. I'm not running
Yeah,
show here. But anyways, there's consideration from Chelsea to pursue Calafiori in the summer. The links are weak, I would say.
He's laughing.
But I want to entertain it because since he's Italian, I want Gianni. Why you laughing, bro? Why you laughing?
Because he's a fucking bum, and I hope Chelsea do buy him for top dollar just so that he can show his ass off that he's shit, but in a Chelsea uniform. You know what? It's about time Chelsea comes and buys one of our scrubs since we've been doing that for years. He sucks.
So,
get rid of him.
To do what? To play center back? Or to back up Cucurella? That's what they do.
Well,
yeah.
Cucurella, by the way, has only 2 years in his contract. By the way, I saw Reece James just signed. He just renewed his contract, so Cucurella has only 2 years left. So this could be the replacement of Cucurella, and I think this is why the leaks actually surface in the social media, because Chelsea will be looking for a left back / center back, because their center back also are awful in my opinion. I mean, Chalobah and Fofana, they're all horrendous. So Calafiori would look like prime Maldini in that squad.
Whoa. Let's not get disrespectful here.
Yeah,
He'll never be prime Maldini. That's a little blasphemous.
With the reference to Chelsea defense, right? That's
yeah, still, but let's
term.
leave Maldini alone.
Ashley Cole should be the reference, shouldn't it? Because Ashley Cole was. It should be Ashley Cole the reference, isn't it?
Yeah,
You're doing the Italian thing. That's why you said Maldini. The only thing he has in common with Maldini is that they're both Italian.
Yeah. Other than that, they don't
Passport,
got nothing else in
common. All right, WaffleDon, BBK, what's your guys' thought on it of this? Would you sell him? And if yes, what would be the price tag you would ask for?
How much did we pay for this guy? 40 something?
Yeah, like 40 million.
It was 40 something. I mean,
Let me get the figure exactly, but around that price, yeah.
If we can get top dollar for him, sure. If not, I think he can be a serviceable backup for Hincapié. But I wouldn't be in favor of the club willingly just taking a loss to get rid of him. Because now we're talking about Skelly going on loan and possibly wanting to leave the club to escape Arteta. We'll have no cover there.
So it's a 40 million euros initially, and it could rise up to 45 to 50 based on the bonuses. If
we can get 60, upwards of 60 for him, go for it. If not,
you think Chelsea would buy him for 60?
Should they pay 60 for Cucurella?
Yeah, but Cucurella, I mean, he was really good. I mean, he's still good as a left back compared to Calafiori. There's levels to this game.
Since when have Arsenal been selling players for good money? When's the last player? Who's the last player we sold for good money? I think about 50, 47.
Chamberlain,
50.
Brother, who's gonna buy that guy for that much money in the first place?
Yeah.
He's had more days. This guy has had more days injured than Tierney had in 5 years, and everyone tried to say that Tierney's injury prone.
If Chelsea want him, they can have him.
That's why I would sell him, because he's injury prone.
I would sell him too, but you also have to look at it with common sense.
What's his wages
If Chelsea's dumb enough to give us what we paid for him or more, sell him. But if you're going to tell me that you want him gone, but everyone looks at the fact that this guy's been hurt over 200 days of injury over the last 2 years, and if they come to you and say, listen, we're not going to pay the 40, we're going to give you 30, sell him. Because the bigger part is getting the contract off. Remember, this guy was getting 12,000 euros a week in Italy. We bumped him to 125,000 pounds a week. Sell him. Sell him. Get that contract off the books.
No, his salary is 77 per week. 77.
Is it 77 plus bonuses then? Is that?
Well, it says here between 65 and 77. So I'm going with a higher number here.
Because there's been streams where both Aaron Talks Arsenal and Lee were shown. It was over 100,000 pounds.
How long have you been here for?
This is only his second year.
Yeah.
He's had Gunnar AJ the Mod put it in my stream maybe a week ago. Kieran Tierney had 192 total injury days across 5 years being with Arsenal. This guy's been with us for 2 years. He's already over 223 injury days. And he's been here for 2 years. Get rid of him. If somebody comes in and offers you 30 and you get him off the books, if you got to take a $10 million loss for 1 year, do it. He's a bum, dude. The dude's not that good. And anybody who wants to say he was a decent center back, look at how he got his ass torn up against Mansfield playing as that third center back in a back line of 3. He had a second division team making him look like a bum. He's not worth it.
He was
man.
good
Get rid of
at the beginning of the season, Gianni, like the first 2-3 months up to November, I would say, and then he just vanished, in my opinion. That's
I
maybe injury
humbly
happened.
disagree.
I can't even remember.
I humbly disagree. I think Hincapié has been by far
Did he
the best
win?
player.
Did he win the Player of the Month, or am I tripping?
Who?
Hincapié did.
Calafiori.
No, Hincapié did for this.
No, Calafiori, and I don't know if it was October or November. I can't remember.
Because but these things happen, you know. We've seen them.
He started the season very well, California.
Yeah.
We've seen players and managers get. We've seen the managers get manager of the month and sacked the following month. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
These type of things happen. But Capology say he's on 120 a week.
I don't know. I just checked.
The the injuries and the lack of consistency with this player.
The injuries is the problem, WaffleDon, in my opinion. His
style.
I just looked it up. I just looked it up right now. He's on 120. He's on 120,000 pounds a week.
Yeah, that's what Capology says as well.
Yeah, he's on 120,000 pounds a week, dude. Get rid of him.
That's a lot.
That's 6 million. That's 6 mil, almost 6.3 million pounds a year on a salary when you look at it. And if you sell him for 30, you're basically getting back what you paid for him. Get rid of him.
That's even higher than Yield is.
I think when we're looking at young left back as well, I think Real Madrid or something.
Yeah, I don't think they're signing him. I don't think they rate him to sign him, honestly speaking.
No, they got that kid Carreras. Carreras is way better than him. They're not going to spend that money to get him.
Well,
now, if Berta, an Italian manager, wants to get rid of an Italian left back, it is
exactly.
I'm sure they can work it out.
Yeah, maybe he sees something that we don't see. So I don't know, but
no, I would sell him just for the fact that he is injury prone, as Gianni mentioned. I don't know how many days, but I can't tell you.
The last I checked, it was 223 injury days, and we're not even finished with his second full year at the club. 220,
and that's a lot.
Yeah.
No, and you know, guys, I rate availability. In my opinion, availability is one of the crucial things in football. Is you should be available to be rated either highly or I mean, it's
that's
just
why the Kieran Tierney. That's why when everybody was talking smack about Kieran Tierney, it doesn't add up because they hype up Calafiori. But he's had more days injured in 18 months being with Arsenal than Tierney did across 5 years. Yeah. Kieran Tierney had 192 injury days across 5 years. Calafiori's already over 220, and we haven't even finished his second full year with the club. It's for you to be getting paid that much money, cost us that much money as well that we got to pay off the books. Nah, man, it's better to take the loss on him and just get rid of him and go after somebody else.
He's on more money than Timber, for fuck's sake.
What?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Timber's on 90.
That's
so when it's renegotiation time, Timber's gonna be on 200. Martinelli's on double the money as Timber. Timber has more goals.
Martinelli's 180, I think.
Yeah. And Timber's on 90.
Timber's on 90. He's one of the lesser paid players. And imagine if you got to renew the contract with Timber, if you just gave Saka 300,000 and you gave everybody else them crazy amount of increase. I mean, Trossard here, we didn't even extend Trossard's contract. We just said, here, we're going to up you to 180, hoping that somebody was going to come and buy him so that we got more money off the books because of a higher salary. It didn't happen. So what happens if Timber, who in my opinion is in a battle with Hakimi to be the best right back in Europe, what is he going to ask for? If Odegaard can't even start anymore, Odegaard's 240,000.
Also Reece James. I think Reece James also is an elite right back.
He is, but Reece James, to like what you said with availability, Reece James has been injured the last couple of years as well.
He's been playing a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of minutes. But anyways, that's it regarding Calafiori. I mean, you heard it from the panel. Nobody actually rates the player to keep him. I would just sell him for the fact that he's not available for the majority of the time he's been in the club. And since you mentioned Trossard, Gianni, here you go. That's the second player that they might leave the club. And I want WaffleDon to start this piece of news that we have. He might be linked to either Newcastle or Aston Villa. And what's your thoughts on this? Would you sell him? Would you keep him? And if yes, what would be the price tag you would ask for? And if no, I mean, justify. Why would you keep him?
Well, I'm not justifying keeping him because I wanted him out at the start of the season anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, Trossard's. You know what? When we gave him that extra deal, whatever, that price. Sorry, that that raise. I was like, what the club doing, man? We should be like looking at Morgan Rogers or that type of player. And Trossard, he's been a good servant, you know, throughout this season. He's done well, but this is what happens at the tail end of the season when you need someone to be like clutch right now. Trossard's he's in and out of the team, you know, he's having a lot of injuries now. I think he's like 29, 30.
No, he's 30. He'll be 31.
Yeah, he's very limited in terms of like, I don't even see him as a winger. Yeah, I see him more as maybe a 10 stroke, whatever.
False nine, something.
Yeah, I just feel I felt that we missed something here. You know, I think we should have sold him at the time when the price was right. And if we can get that money for him, then yeah, I'll be happy with that.
We bought him for cheap, by the way. I don't think we bought him for a hefty fee.
27.5 million.
7.5 million.
No, 27.5 million.
Yeah, something like that. I was gonna say something 25, but yeah, 20.
Yeah,
I think
it's
27 is
around
the right number.
Yeah,
it's not
23
really
million is a decent price to get for a 31-year-old, you know, and he's probably still got, you know, a couple of years still in him, you know, at the top level. But we've seen in recent games that his legs, it looks like his legs gone. You know, so yeah. There are some players that I want to get rid of this season, and Trossard was definitely in my list as well. So yeah, when we're an Arsenal fan, you know what I mean. I'm not really torn between getting rid of Trossard.
So
I really bring a young, tricky winger, you know, that's got loads of ability on that left for Trossard.
You would keep Martinelli. Is that how you see it?
No, get him out as well. Get both of them out. I want both of them out. Both of them.
If you had the choice for only to get rid of one and keep one, would you keep Martinelli or Trossard? Just out of curiosity.
Trossard for me.
Yeah, it'd have to be Trossard, but I'll kidnap Martinelli.
No, I Trossard would be the one I'd keep. I'd sell Martinelli if I had to choose between.
No, I'd say kidnap. I'll kidnap Martinelli. I'll keep Trossard and I'll kidnap Martinelli. So no one will know where he is.
Problem solved. Well, Taryn, what about you, buddy? Well, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think the ship has sailed with Leo. The injuries, he was never blessed with pace to begin with. Now
But do you agree to sell him to a rival in the Premier League, to Aston Villa or to Newcastle, whoever is going to come?
I don't think Villa can afford this. Brother, Villa don't have anyone over 150 pounds or 150K. If he's on 180, like Villa's highest paid player is Sancho on 200, and that's alone because United is fitting the other half of the bill. Villa, they've already declared losses in PSR problems.
Yep.
Buying an Arsenal player who's overpaid on big wages, I just don't see that. I don't see it. You know, a loan, but a straight up sale, unless we take a huge loss like a Zinchenko type deal, I don't see it happening. But yeah, if the question was which one am I keeping or selling versus, I'd sell Martinelli because I think we can get more money for him. You sell Martinelli right now, we paid 6 to 8 million for him. It's be pure profit. He's having an academy kid.
Yeah.
So
you'll cash in. That's true. And not only that, I mean, you get rid of a big chunk of salary in the books as well.
Yeah,
with Martinelli. So yeah, guys, those are the players that are rumored they might leave Arsenal during this week. Of course, it might change later on. I mean, we've heard also Odegaard. We've heard of many players that could leave, and I think there are going to be plenty of players that actually will leave Arsenal Football Club in this summer. But speaking of players that Arsenal Football Club will retain in the squad, which is Hincapié. So Hincapié according to Fabrizio, already agreed with Arsenal a 5-year deal and salary already agreed, and it's just a matter of signing the papers and making this signing a permanent one instead. So, well, let me just read it. No way, Arsenal Chelsea game. Okay. So yeah, I mean, Hincapié is gonna stay in the football club. Taryn, let's start with you, buddy. Do you think it's the right move for Arsenal to keep Hincapié, especially lately that he's been performing in a very high level?
Yeah. Good player. Well done, Bertha. Thing is, like, we have to keep him, but we also have to keep him in good graces and keep him fit. And how do you do that? You make sure you have a service of a backup so he can get some rotation. You know what I mean? That's why I was kind of iffy on whether or not I was for or against selling Calafiori. But yeah, this guy, he loves to defend. You know, he's an international, defends very well. Sometimes I think he slows down our attack going forward, but that's something that he can work on. He's even shown that he can finish if he gets into scoring positions as well. So yeah, man. Well done. Shrewd business, like they say. Sign him up, but there are still other holes in the squad we have to fill. But you know, you can fill these holes concurrently. 52 million. How old is he?
23.
21?
20. No, not 20.
24, I think.
I think something like
24.
that. Hincapié.
He's coming into his prime.
24. He's 24. He's 24.
Yeah, he's coming into his prime. We can get a good 4 to 6 years out of him. So yeah, go for it. We get 4 to 6 years out of a player, and that's about 10 million a year for the transfer fee. Yeah, I think that's a good deal.
Okay, WaffleDon, Gianni. Any of you guys can jump in and give us your thoughts about Hincapié. Do you think he's been a good signing for Arsenal? No brainer. It's a no brainer for me personally. I would sign him. What's your thoughts, guys?
Wanna go, Johnny?
You can go ahead, Waffle.
Yeah. No, you know what? It's a good signing. I love the fact that he can play, you know, 2 positions as well, left back, centre back, and you know, provide quality in both positions. I like his character. You know, this is what these are the type of characters I think Arsenal are missing. You know, that tough, no nonsense type of defender. I like that about Hincapié as well. And you know what? He loves a tackle as well. If you saw that tackle, I know it was in the Mansfield game towards the end, but he just shows he's got levels and he's got passion. And yeah, if he can, you know, keep fit and, you know, keep on being consistent over a period of a season, I think we'll have a gem here. And I think, you know, I think he'll only get better with this team. So yeah, I do like Hincapié, and these are the type of signings that, you know, we should be signing going forward. I don't want no Odegaard mentality, no mentality type players. I want these type of players, you know, like warriors. That's gonna, you know, put everything, you know what I mean, heart on the pitch and everything, you know.
Okay. Well, as WaffleDon said, these type of players actually would die on the pitch for you. Gianni, I mean, I know that Hincapié is a very passionate player, and he is. I mean, he's been very good for Arsenal. But I just want to add to that, and Zero Talks could testify for this, that he because he watches Bundesliga. I actually don't, and he said that Hincapié was one of the pillars of Bayer Leverkusen when they went invincible in the league. They won 2 seasons ago, and he was the reason why they went invincible. And would you agree on that? Would you? What's your input here?
Oh, he's 100% right, because I watched a decent amount of Bundesliga too, and he was one of the main players to help them win. I think it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer signing for me. He's been one of the best left backs in the Premier League this season, so I think it's a no-brainer signing. When you have the opportunity to sign one of the best players in the league, and it's been his first year, you know, there hasn't been that. You know, what we always say, that we have to wait and see if a player can handle the pace of stuff from the Premier League and how fast he's been able to do it with no problem. So I think, like Terrence said, he's 24 years old. You got possibly an upwards of 8 or more 8+ seasons where you can get this guy in his prime. And with what
Oops.
Damn, another phone call.
Technical difficulties. Yeah.
Gianni's stream's moving like his connection moving like Calafiori's ankle.
No, I think when you join with the phone and you get a phone call, that actually happens.
Yeah.
That's when
it's
you
a busy
connect
man,
to
you
the
know.
Gambinos and they see you on stream.
Yeah.
They're like, brother, my boss out here.
Yeah, but you're. Yeah, and I think Gianni wanted to say mostly that. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot from this player coming. I mean, the upcoming seasons, if we can. I'll let him continue. Go ahead, Gianni.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I just think he's been one of the best left backs in the Premier League. I think the fact that he hasn't had a problem changing over from the Bundesliga, like we've seen Wirtz struggling to switch from the Bundesliga to the Premier League.
Man,
I think
that's true.
I think it's a no-brainer permanent purchase for him.
Okay, well, you got it, guys. I mean, some guy here's in Hincapié's story about his sacrifice for his cousin's wife is heartwarming. I have no clue what you're talking about, to be honest, but you could share more details if that's about that specific story, if it's something remarkable to mention about Hincapié. So yeah, guys, this is regarding the players that we will retain in Arsenal Football Club. Let's talk about the players that Arsenal might sign. And you know what, Gianni? This show is all about Italians, okay? So I'm gonna let you go first, okay?
Oh boy.
There you go. Andrea Berta is looking for a signing of Tonali. It could cost Arsenal Football Club over 100 million euros.
Damn.
Yep.
All right. So look, man, the Newcastle owners, I know them very well. They are from my own country, right? And believe me when I say they're not going to sell for less, right? Because they're not forced to sell, right? They're not forced to sell. And if you're going to go at any of their players and you want to sign them, then you have to pay whatever price they would set for that particular. We've seen it with Isak. We've seen it with plenty of players, and they're not afraid of spending as well. So Tonali, Gianni, tell me about him.
But they can't spend because of FFP rules, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, they can, but
well, no, PSR, not FFP.
If one of their big players.
Yeah,
that's true. But in terms of owners' ambition, they're not running the club as a business, right? They're running the club to success, just like Manchester City did. I mean, allegedly they are sued for 115 charges, but still innocent until proven guilty.
But wouldn't they have to get in a new manager then, if they really want success then? But anyway, that's another conversation. Gianni, man, talk on your boy.
I mean, listen, I think everybody knows I'm a big fan of Tonali. I think him and Rice as a double pivot would arguably be for me the best double pivot in the Premier League, because we've seen Gravenberch and McAllister fall off a cliff this year. Rodri has been inconsistent. The young kid who they got, Nico Gonzalez, has not proven anything. And like I told everybody at the beginning,
again. All right, BBK, take the mic, man. Just take the mic.
I had a question about Tonali. Is he a 6 or an 8? What is he?
He's more of an 8. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, he's more than an 8 than a 6, honestly.
Who would you liken him to? Who would you liken him to as an 8 in his style of play? To any player in anywhere. Because he's very.
He told me this before, and I thought it was a mad take.
No,
say it again, Gianni. Say it again.
When he played, how he played at Milan was they would line him up as the 6, but both
no.
Benacer.
But you said he is similar to a certain player. Tell him that player.
I said no. Again, you're putting words in my mouth. What I said was, his playing style at Milan, they had him play very similar to Pirlo, where he starts out as a 6 and moves up into the pitch and dropped one of the guys to cover him. He's more of an 8 because he goes forward. He can play 6, but he is more of an 8. Now, I don't know if you have it on here, but there was also talk from Fabrizio Romano, I believe, from a couple days ago, that Zubamendi has not taken it off the table that he may want to go back to Spain after a year. So if Zubamendi is going back, this is a no-brainer signing for me. Now, I don't know, because we haven't heard anything about PSR and the financial stuff with Arsenal, but the only thing that this worries me about is if we're going to spend 100 million and Zubamendi stays, I'm a little concerned by what if this could hinder us from getting a left winger, because the left winger's more important than a double pivot right now for me, because Zubamendi
You
has
told me he's
sufficed.
similar to Pirlo, man.
No, I didn't. Go back and listen to what I said. I said the way that he played that year with Pioli had him playing the Pirlo role. He's not similar to Pirlo as far as that, because he'll go into the box more than Pirlo does. He's being held, if you look at the way Newcastle plays, he's being held back because for whatever reason, he still believes that Joelinton is better going forward than Tonali, which I 100% disagree with. But if you made him a double pivot with Rice, I think you arguably have the best double pivot in England, and then start making a debate with the best one in Europe for those two. But and he adds more of a physicality side to the game than what I've seen from Zubamendi, and better on the ball. So I think if you're letting go of Zubamendi, he's the perfect guy to come in. I'd love to see him and Rice next to each other.
Yeah, I think that would create a very strong partnership, in my opinion. Taryn, I mean, barring his play style and the advantage we'll gain from signing such a player and such a profile, I have a concern, and I want to address it to you, and I want your opinion about it. His, let's say, off the pitch issues that occurred in the last couple of years, which is the gambling stuff that happened with him and the suspension that happened to him. Is that something would alarm you? Would raise some red flags in your opinion, or
no,
no,
not at all.
No?
The same way I wanted Ivan Toney. They admitted to it. You paid your debts. You get whatever. It's over. I think that's behind him now. He would be the stupidest moth in the history of the world to do some more. You know what I mean? Gambling after, and I'm sure that Bertha would have done his due diligence on this guy before he would summon that type of money for a player. Now maybe you can even use that as leverage to lower the price in your negotiations. That there's a risk here that you might be.
You got an ex-con. We were
you know what I'm saying? I need some reassurances. The price dropped to this, and you're on a probationary period, and then you'll get some more money on the back end. But I don't. People make mistakes, man. I don't hold things over people. I hold things when people consistently, show a pattern of behavior, like our style of play, then I hold you accountable. But if I think that stuff is behind him, he serves his fine, served his suspension. Yeah, it's all about the football for me at this point, not the off the field stuff.
What about you, WaffleDon? Are you all into the signing, or you have some reservations?
I love Tonali as a footballer, man. I remember I was debating with one guy, D-Man, about Tonali. And I was debating with Cape about Tonali and Rice in terms of their positioning. For me, Tonali in that 8 is just what we need. Yeah, all playing centre midfielder. In spaces. You know what I mean. He can pass in spaces. He can dribble out. Dribble out of trouble. He's good on the ball. He's also decent at set pieces as well. He's a leader for me in this. If we buy him, I think he steps up.
Would you sell Zubamendi for him?
No, I'll keep Zubamendi. I'll put
all right,
Zubamendi.
Fair. If we do keep Zubamendi,
we want to start winning big trophies. Yeah, we have to keep these.
I understand. I just want to. I want to see what's your thoughts about this. So if we keep Zubamendi, we have Tonali and Rice. Who would you play? I'm just curious. I mean, there's no right or wrong answers.
Yeah, no. Listen, I agree with Gianni. Yeah, Declan Rice is our true number 6. He's not the best as an 8. I don't think he has the skill set as an 8. We need. I've been crying about this. We need a number 8 that can dictate the game. Yeah, not an Odegaard, but a player as Tonali's abilities. Yeah, he's got strength, as you can see. Look, he's strength, ball carrying, leadership. He's a baller. Yeah, he's an absolute baller. And you know what? What he can also do as well is when he can't go forward, he'll allow, you know, Rice to go forward. He's that intelligent as a baller, yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? That I think the likes of him and Rice, I think those two in midfield will cook. And I think that when you look at those two in midfield next season, for me, if we're winning the league this season, that's retaining the league next season. I'm that confident. So this is the type of players I want to see coming into our club. Zubi can sit on the bench, bro. He can hold bench.
Okay.
And
guys, one of the guys from the chat, I know him personally, Mo. Big up to you, my buddy. He's saying how you guys feel about Camavinga. There are certain news that came out and said that Camavinga is gonna be offered in the summer for around 45, starting from 45 million pound. Would you go for Camavinga instead of Tonali if he's available?
That ship sailed for me. I like him a lot, but I just think that ship sailed for
half the price.
A few injuries, hasn't he, as well? It's a difficult one, man.
If I'm going,
half the price.
It is, but if I'm going off of form, Tonali's been the better midfielder for the last 2 years than Camavinga has. Because if you look at the drop-off since Camavinga had the injury, Camavinga was a shoo-in to start for Real Madrid when they won the title. And then since then, he's been battling injuries and inconsistent play. Whereas Tonali, you know, yes, there's been some injuries here and there, but it's nowhere near. He's never been off as long as what we've seen from Camavinga. And again, he's a player. I hate to beat this with a dead horse, but like what WaffleDon's saying is he's already proven. He's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He's used to what's going on. I like Camavinga a lot as a player, but I don't want to take a chance on a possible injury-prone player that has to play out of bad form right now. I'd rather go with the informed player, and I'd rather go with Tonali, even if it does cost you more.
It's not just more; it's double. But okay, WaffleDon, you agree? I mean, even though the price tag is half.
Yeah,
sorry,
Camavinga.
I was gonna
seasons ago, definitely wanted Camavinga. Yeah, but I just think that ship sailed, man. And is he the type of player that you know when you compare him to a Tonali? Yeah, you know, is he gonna be that type of player that's gonna raise the bar like that? Or is he just going to be someone that, you know, another youngster that, you know, is battling, you know what I mean, for, you know, to get into the team? I think Tonali starts games. I think Camavinga doesn't. So, yeah, Tonali for me is the one.
Taryn, you also agree? You would go with Tonali instead of Camavinga? With double
if it's a toss-up. But if the Tonali deal doesn't come through, buyer beware. Buyer beware, injuries and all that, and be very wary when Real Madrid want to sell you a player that's out of form and all that stuff. But he's a baller, man. He's a baller.
Where are you playing him though, BBK? Where are you playing him? Because you can play DM, you can play left back.
Yeah, I play him as a DM. I play him he has legs, he can run for days, isn't scared to take a shot. Remember Arsenal, you know, when we used to be good in our day, you know, we had Frenchmen littered all through our squad. We don't have any. You know, we got Saliba, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like this. I think he's a baller, man. But he's on. If anyone can recover from an injury, you know, 23-year-old, he hasn't even hit his prime yet. And if it's half the price, but I do take pause in that with buyers beware from Real Madrid. They, you know, they're privy to information that we don't have. They know something because if he was there, they don't value him if there's offer him away for just, you know, 4 to 5 million.
Okay,
that's a bit, you know, that's an alarm bell for me right there. But the player pre-injury. Top player. You have him and Tonali in our midfield, man. You couldn't get the ball off us.
That's fair. Fair take. Well, before we go to the next one, guys, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're hitting our next milestone, which is 1,000 subs. Also, make sure you guys hit the subscription for every single one of the panelists. All of them are in the description, and show them some love. Guys, this is the big one now here. This is the big one, and I had to pause for a second just to give it the respect that it acquires. Here we go, man, and I hope it's true. right?
No,
Kvaratskhelia,
no.
right?
You want Rafael
right.
Leao? Don't lie.
Yeah. Liao, that's true, man. I do want Liao, but if this guy's available too, man, why not? But I mean, this guy's gonna cost us more than 100 mil for sure.
Yeah.
100% is gonna cost over 100. Liao's gonna cost us like 60, 70, right? And if this guy is available, 100% I would go with Kvaratskhelia. 100%. And now, because of his recent form in the Champions League, I'm almost certain we're going to buy him for 120, 130 million euros. That will be the price tag they will slap on him. Guys, Taryn, tell me, would you sign Kvaratskhelia for 120 million euros?
Bro, where the hell are we getting all this money from?
From winning Premier Leagues and selling players.
I'm saying that this.
Look, Taryn. No, but before you answer, Taryn, just so that you know, Arsenal Football Club financially is probably the most stable club in the whole of Europe. We ended our debts back in 2021 for the Emirates Stadium.
FFP,
What do you mean?
We're
one of the highest revenue generators in Europe. What do you mean FFP?
Well, look at the Hincapié deal. They're saying that they couldn't buy him because of the
but if there's WaffleDon, hold on. If there's a smart way to, let's say, spread the cost so that you don't get hit at one fiscal year, then you would do it, right? I mean, regardless if you do have the cash or not. It's like you have millions, but you still go take loans to do business. You do have the cash, right?
I understand that, but realistically, do you think we're gonna pay 120 million for is it euros?
Yeah, it'd be euros.
He's gonna be the highest he's gonna be the highest the most it'd be a record.
Isak was 100 Isak was 135 if I'm not mistaken.
No, for us.
Rice was the highest.
We should have bought him when we had
he was costing 60 million in Napoli. Yes, I agree.
You should have paid the extra 2.5 million when Arsenal beat Napoli to him, and Arsenal got cheap on 2.5 million when Napoli bought him, because Arsenal and Napoli were the first two teams to scout him.
Well, that's Edu. Isn't it?
Yeah, that was Edu. Yeah.
We signed that guy who scouted him out, right? What's his name? Chiavalli or something?
Michele.
Working now. Michele.
Michele.
Yeah, he's the one who scouted Kvaratskhelia. So he's now working for Arsenal scout team under Arteta. However, we missed that opportunity. We missed that bus. Now the opportunity, we would buy him for 120 mil. Would we go for it or not?
Absolutely. He's the best left winger in the game, in my opinion. But I'm biased because he helped out my club get their first Scudetto in 30 years. But I'm biased, but I think Vada's the best left winger in the world.
In the world.
I don't think there's a left winger that's better than him.
Who's better than him then?
Maybe I'm trying to say Vinny, maybe.
Nah. Vinny 2 years ago,
Actually.
Vinny right now, no.
I think Vinny has better output in the Champions League specifically, but I think Kvaratskhelia is more technically a better footballer. But the thing is, if we're looking at Tonali for 100 and looking at this guy for 100, different positions, right? So it's not like it's at either or. That means we'd be in for both these guys. I just don't know where this money's come from. And if you say we were financially responsible and financially secure, bro, I'm financially stable. And this sounds like I'm walking through the mall with my wife, and she's like, yeah, I want that, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. Like, brother, we're not getting Tonali and Kvaratskhelia in the same window, even if we win the Premier League.
No, we're not. We're not. We're going to get one marquee signing, probably. And
no, we could. We could, if the rumors are true about...
Unless we sell. Right? Unless we sell and we get rid of a bunch of players.
Which we're gonna do, and the contracts coming off the books then give you space. I mean, again, the Hincapié thing points to the same thing, is that FFP, again, it's depending on where our books are going to be after this season, because again, PSR and FFP go off of 3 years, so it depends on where your debt is going to be. If you win the Premier League and then you win maybe one of the other cups, that extra prize money allows you to bet against where your money's going to be. So you technically could afford the both of them, but then that means you have to win. What we're looking for as a club, I don't see why we don't spend on VAR. This is kind of the reason why I said that with Tonali, while I would love him, but you got to move Zubamendi on along with Odegaard, because you can't sit here and have a guy that you spent 60 million on. Now you're getting 100 million pound or 100 million euro midfielder to come in and have a 60 million euro midfielder on the bench, and then you're going to pay 120 million for this guy. I mean, for me, if the toss up is between Tonali and Vara, this isn't a discussion. It's Vara. Vara is everything we need. We need creativity. We need somebody who, if we look at the profile of winger, right? Vara not only does what we've been praising Madueke for, he's deceptively quick, creativity is out of this world, and he's going to score goals. It's not like you're getting a midfielder who you need for pace to come in at the late run to maybe get your one assist. I mean, this guy, the first season, his first year in Serie A, the guy went from the Russian league to the Serie A and bagged over 20 goals and got over 12 assists. And then did it the following year when we were still in 10th place. So for me, this is the number one priority, because the left wing position is what we've been crying out for the last few years. I think you spend the money on him before you do Tonali. But like I said, if you can sell Zubamendi, get rid of Zubamendi, and then go sign the both of them.
Okay. What about you, WaffleDon and Taryn? Any thoughts on the player?
No, I rate the player. I rate the player highly. I just think I think if we win the Premier League, we can move differently, right? But like, we still have to remember. I've said on many occasions, like, name me the attacker who's come to Arsenal and thrived.
I think about many times.
Stuff, I know I'm not crazy. So I know players look at the way we play football, and then they ask themselves, they sit with their families, they sit with their agents, they talk to their national team coach, and they be like, do I really want to go subject myself to that? So, organically, as Arsenal, as a football club, we have questions we have to answer of how we're going to play football next year before we start, looking at. Now, the fact that we're linked to this player and that player tells me that Bertha wanted to change the way we play football. So that's a good thing. But I rate the player highly.
What about you, WaffleDon?
You can't name 3 players better than him in this position. I want him at Arsenal.
I think he's top 3 probably in the world.
That's what I'm saying.
If not the best in the world.
The only one that gives him a run for his money right now is Rafinha. Vinny's been too inconsistent the last 2 years. That second double went to his head. And Mbappe's the only other person who's a natural left winger who I'd say is better than Vara. So, but he's playing as a striker, and we're not going to spend 200 million to go get Mbappe off of Real. So, I don't think there's anybody else you can look at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, WaffleDon, what's your thoughts on the player? Would you put all your eggs in one basket for him?
I'm gonna start calling Sammy the rumor guy, because all these rumors, it's just like it's the dopamine, isn't it? Like getting the keys up, and you're thinking, "Oh, is there a possibility of this?" I just don't see it happening. I rate Kvara highly. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just don't see it happening. I don't see, and listen, I don't see Kvara as an Arteta type player. That is the important factor, because if let's put it this way,
so Kvara is not, but Martinelli is a Arteta player.
And say I've had enough, and then
VAR doesn't come back and play defense like that, Sammy. That's what WaffleDon's alluding to. He's not going to come back and play defense. He didn't do it under Conte. That's why he forced his move out of Napoli to go to PSG, because he wasn't going to come back and play defense. So that's where, if you look at the way PSG plays, Barcola's the more defensive midfielder out of the wingers, and Vara stays up with Dembele because he's more creative and a better goal scorer than Barcola is. And then say, like recently, like to what I forgot who put it in the chat, to where, because he's got a little bit of a beef with Luis Enrique, that's why he hasn't been starting at certain times. But if you look, then Barcola's still doing the dirty work, and it's Doué that's being played further up. So that's where to like what Waffle said. Sorry for interrupting you, Waffle.
No, that's cool. It's cool. So what will happen if we won the treble? Would Arteta say, you know what, I've done it and I'm leaving? Or would you think he will stay on to... You think he stays?
No, he's getting a statue, bro. He's getting a statue if he wins the treble.
He wins the treble. He's going up to 20 million a year. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Okay, so forget that, because I thought, you know what, maybe if he wins it all, then he's gonna say, you know what, I'm going out, in a good way. But obviously, if he's staying, then nah, Kvara, I doubt it, because that would have led the door open for an Enrique type. But I kind of see Morgan Rogers as more of an Arteta type player, someone that can play, multiple positions on that left, also as a 10 as well. So I don't see us going for this type of player, even though the fans would have loved this type of player, because this is the type of player, Gianni, that you would pay to go and watch. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Listen, he's
all right.
I think you talk about the type of player that he is. This is the type of player that also unlocks Gyökeres to be a possible 30 goal a season winger, because he's not. This is why I say, like, that to what you said. He's not an Arteta type of player where he's going to help out defensively. He's going to play forward. He wants to get more into the middle. You know who he reminds me of a lot when you look at the way he may start the ball out wide, but he always loves to come in the middle. Kind of like do you remember how James would start out wide but always come into the middle to play to be more creative? That's kind of his thing, but he's much quicker and much more physical than what James Rodriguez is. But when we talk, and to be honest with you, as much as he's hurting, Vara, the other reason why I would pay for him is he could unlock Saka again. His ability to find passes and everything else is ridiculous. I mean, he made Chucky Lozano look like one of the best right wingers in the world with Napoli, and Lozano has gone to the MLS after 2 years of being away from this guy and being away from Napoli. So I think you could get this guy to really be a huge asset. So like I said, I'd get him. I'd spend it. I don't care.
Well, let me just reply to a few of the things, since WaffleDon mentioned. First of all, WaffleDon, you talk about rumors. Those are the news that are out there. I'm not making these things up. Yes, I do entertain them, because some of my takes are wishful thinking. But when it comes to Kvaratskhelia, I do think it is one of the Arteta type of signing, and I'll tell you why. Barring the track back, he doesn't track back, but he is versatile, and you know how Arteta loves the word versatile when it comes to players. He does play in the left wing, he does play in the right wing, so I think he is a type of player that can occupy two positions for you in case you need him to. Moreover, you guys mentioned about Berta and the other guy from the scouting of Napoli that joined. I think Arteta is not having the same power as he used to have when it comes to the signing and the final decision about which player we're going to sign. I see Berta is taking all that power to himself, and he's the one who is going to sign the players basically until Arteta, figure it out and play with those players. If Arteta chooses to play with those players, that's great. If not, I think ultimately we are shifting towards a different types of either football, either a different manager, but I don't think we're going to continue playing in the same manner, especially when you have different profiles. And Arteta has to.
This is a world-class profile, by the way. This is a world-class.
Yes.
So
100%,
how's Arteta gonna be able to?
That's the thing, if Arteta is not able to utilize those profiles, those high-level profiles, eventually you'll see a drop-off in team's result. We're not going to be competing and all that stuff, and ultimately you'll see Arteta sacked if he doesn't deliver with all these players that he has in his squad. So how I see Arsenal personally, signing Saka for long-term, signing Saliba long-term, Gabriel Magalhaes. So the spine has already signed their contract for long-term. Next is going to be Rice. So they are building something for the future even further than Arteta's tenure, right? And if I'm going to bank on a certain player to stay with Arsenal and flourish, Kvaratskhelia would be one of them, because he's still young. How old is Kvaratskhelia, by the way? 24, 25?
24. I think just turned 24.
Yeah, 24, 21. So he's one of those players that will actually be part of the Arsenal future in case Arteta leaves, and whoever is going to join definitely will be lucky to have Kvaratskhelia in the squad and will be able to utilize him. That's my take about Kvaratskhelia. So, anything you guys want to add about Kvara before we move on? Because I think there are a couple of profiles in PSG that also I'm interested in, like Desiree Doué, for instance. I think Desiree Doué also is a great player, but I'm not sure. Would you choose him over Kvaratskhelia or would you? Well, what's your thoughts on that, guys?
I mean, last week's episode when we were talking about left wingers, when you said Leao and Doué was one of the guys that I said because he was back up to this guy, but he is not getting playing time. And I think Doué, he's not starting consistently, not because of quality, but because this guy is there. So yeah, I think he's a top winger. Either one of, like someone said on the Big Six last night, that if PSG teleported to the Premier League with their squad, they have the 2 best wingers in the league.
Facts. That's facts. That's facts.
That's true.
100.
So
That's
either
true.
one of them
I think
improves our squad. So I'm here for it.
Yep. Agreed.
And not only that, the way they play the game, man, the wingers always interchange in the middle of the game, so it makes them very difficult for you to track them and put like a solid plan against them or mark a certain player against them because they're always going to interchange in the middle of the game. The last player I have that we're linked to, and there has been a couple of links before, but there's a twist in the news here, which was Livramento. I think you guys remember when we talked about Livramento. Fabrizio came out and said that City now are in pursuit of Livramento, right? And they are looking to sign him. And we've been linked to him for quite some time. But when Fabrizio came out and mentioned this, I said, okay, I'm gonna just bring it up for you guys and then see what your thoughts about him. We would challenge City for Livramento?
We can't. They're going to give him 300K.
Andy's going to start. Andy's going to start. Where do you put him? If this runs into the same thing with what we said about with the money when we were talking about Tonali and Vada. What's this guy going to cost? If Newcastle's not stupid, they're not going to take a loss on a player. They're going to get the most amount of money. But then the question is, if you get Livramento, where's he playing? If you're going to spend 40, 50 million on this guy, you're going to put him on the bench for what? For Tierney and Hincapié to start? I mean, for me, that's money wasted.
Tierney.
He's right back.
Tierney.
He's a right back. That's what I'm saying. He's not starting over Timber.
No, exactly.
So what's again? This is more
because
like
Sam Ben White. Don't forget it. We were talking about last week. Maybe
I hear it, but again, brother, here's the problem. At the end of the day, if successful teams are able to keep a copacetic locker room, you start getting guys that are being paid big money, costing big money, but not getting playing time. You're going to have a problem in the locker room. We've seen it over and over with different clubs. And one of the issues that we've said several times on your show and everybody else's channel here is he doesn't rotate. So you're basically starting a ticking time bomb with, we're going to spend, let's just say, for example, Livramento is going to cost us 45 million. And with the way we increase everybody's wages, he's going to be getting 150,000 pounds a week, right? You're talking 600,000 pounds a week that's sitting on the bench. That's basically just hoping and praying that Timber's going to get hurt for him to get playing time because this manager doesn't rotate well. It just doesn't. It's a nonsensical thing like that. That's like treading on the path of why Juventus went bankrupt for these last few years and have had problems. Even though we're a successful team with the money, it's just I don't want to see us stack up the team, but then we have a problem of playing players because our manager doesn't want to rotate. I like the guy. I think he's a good player, but for him to come in and sit and be the whole wishful thinking on his part for waiting for Timber to drop, nah, man, we can use money in different places.
Well, if that's the case, John, in my opinion, if you're not up to the challenge, then I don't want you in the team because I do want a player to have this mentality that, listen, I'm going to, he has that confidence in himself to say, okay, I'm going to go there and I'm going to be a first starter, or at least I will battle to be a first starter. But if he's comfortable being the bench, no.
Himself, you think a striker going to Man City is going to fancy themselves to unplanned Holland? There are certain players who you're going to be behind. That's why Alvarez left. Timber's
one of them.
Putting Timber in that same pedestal as Haaland.
No. I'm just it's an example.
No.
For our team, yeah.
For
our team, yeah.
like Alvarez, right, knows that he is good
Right.
enough. I'm not sitting by. I'm good enough to start, but I'm not good enough to supplant that guy. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Livramento's not on Timber's level. Not
Not
yet.
anywhere near.
Yeah, you
Not
can
I
be a
agree.
top right
I
winger.
never
You're
said
a top
that.
right winger in the world right now. Barcelona is not for you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Livramento is better than Timber, never, man. But
No, I'm talking about the mentality piece where you say, this guy is going to back himself.
I want every single player to have that kind of mentality. Turn.
Yeah,
Not
but then
exclusively for Livramento.
that can lead to delusion
And problems in the locker room. Again, the guy's a full-time starter at Newcastle now. He's overtaken Trippier, who used to be the captain for the team.
Yeah.
He's grown into it. That's why you don't hear Trippier bitching, because he knows he's old and he's sitting on the bench and playing certain minutes because he had to make way for Livramento. Again, you don't need to. You don't need, if we're looking at this as a long-term project, right? And we'll say that Arsenal wins 2 titles this year. Let's say we win the league and we win the League Cup, right? You're now building for the future. You don't need any nonsense to be coming into play when you're building to try to make a dynasty run.
Young as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
You can't, and that's the thing with Livramento. He's younger. I think he's only younger than Timber by a couple of years, if that.
Yeah, Timber's young, man.
Timber's still
like-
young, and the
23,
problem
I think,
is,
Timber.
and the problem is, if you start breaking down, like say the season ended today, we won the title, right? Timber is one of the 3 most important players to this team. So by
100%.
spending crazy money on a backup for Timber, if you
He's only a year
can,
young.
I would go look more into a guy who's maybe a starter at like a Bournemouth or something, who knows he's getting minutes when Timber's needed to, but not somebody who's going to be 40 some odd million and is just not going to get minutes. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not convinced that if Arteta stays, if you go and fill out 2 starting 11s of top class players, I don't think a lot of them players are going to get the minutes that they signed up for. And then you have to worry about the problems in the locker room kicking off. So that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, the thing is, right, sometimes a competition for places is a real thing, and I get that. But sometimes
100%.
a clear distinction is required. For example, maybe not the Holland one. Let's use Bobby
Carl
Firmino
Walker.
and Divock Origi, for example. Right? Origi scored some clutch goals, some late goals, but next week he was right back on the bench because we knew that Bobby Firmino was the starting guy. You know what I mean? If Origi was there, hey man, I'm on big money.
Favoritism, man. I hate favoritism. Turn. I do hate favoritism, especially with Arteta when he played, for example, Odegaard right after he got fit and he dropped Eze when he was on. At least we were winning under with Eze. I'm not saying he was the reason why we were winning, but at least that's a winning formula. Why change it?
Yeah,
and I hate the favoritism. I hate it.
Look at the favoritism with Odegaard. Look at the favoritism with Odegaard.
I was talking about Odegaard, man.
My bad. It cut out really quick.
But also remember, if you recall Trossard when he was bagging goals here and there, and then when Gabriel Jesus came back, he instantly put him back into the squad. I couldn't fathom or understand why the hell would you do that. I mean, you should reward players for their great performance. For instance, now Madueke, I would start him over Saka. And it's not something crazy for me to say because Saka is, his form has dipped massively. It's not like I'm saying Saka is a bad player, but when you talk about form, Madueke is in form compared to Saka. That's how I see it.
Agreed.
Man.
Can I ask you a question, Sammy, quickly?
Go ahead.
Could you see?
Go ahead.
Can you see us selling like an Odegaard at the end of the season?
Yes.
I hope.
Yes. Yep. I do.
I can see, I can actually see that.
For a couple of reasons. The first, one year is coming back, right? We have Eze, and don't forget we have Max Dowman as well. So where does Odegaard fit here? I mean, unless you're gonna, take out Nwaneri on a loan and Max Dowman on a loan as well, which I wouldn't do personally because I rate Nwaneri, to be honest, and I do rate Max Dowman as well. I think Odegaard, we outgrew him, and I think.
You'll probably sell MLS more. You'll probably sell MLS and keep Odegaard more than likely.
Yep, I agree. As long as
that's what the worry is.
Odegaard might start tomorrow.
That would be a great mistake. In my opinion.
Lineup come out tomorrow. Odegaard starting. I'm like, yeah, Arteta tax. I'm not surprised, bro. As long as he's here, Odegaard is his guy. There's stubbornness, and then there's Arteta stubbornness. You know what I'm saying? Arteta is more stubborn than our wives, bro. Different levels.
Why for that?
Just
Why for that, man?
just when you thought you would never meet another human being more stubborn than the one that you provide and protect, you become the Arsenal manager.
Taryn, you're moving crazy this
and
stream,
that's
man.
saying something because
I can't
mine's
lie.
that's saying something because mine's Puerto Rican and Dominican. That's saying something.
Next level.
It levels.
Well, guys, you're first. Make sure you guys hit the like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Until I mean, that's the last topic we're going to talk about is the Arsenal form. What happened during this week and what's going to happen in the upcoming weeks and how this panel feels about the form of Arsenal currently. First, I'm going to start with the UCL performance. As you know, guys, we drew against Bayer Leverkusen, and there's one positive thing about it. I'll tell you what it is. I just watched the press conference right before the stream started, and one of the journalists asked Arteta about the game against Bayer Leverkusen, and he admitted that we don't deserve the win. And this is the first time for me to see Arteta admits that he deserves a loss, at least for me. Maybe you guys have seen it before, but it's the first for me to see it. You know, he said that, yeah, we don't deserve even the win. I mean, we got a draw and we'll just take it and move from there, right? And I'm a little bit happy that he's acknowledged that he effed up there, right? And that's the only positive thing that I'll take from that game. But about the chances, this is according to Sky Sports. These are the chances for the English Premier League teams to go through to the quarterfinals. So what do you guys think? Talk about the performance against Bayer Leverkusen, and do you favor us to go through? What's your thought about the UCL, guys?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I hate these percentages and all of this kind of Opta rubbish because I think on any given day, yeah, you can get knocked out. Yeah. If you don't turn up in the Champions League, you'll get knocked out. Yeah. And it could be by anyone like a Bodo Glimt, anyone. If you're not up for it, then you'll get knocked out. I do see us going through, but you're only as good as your last game, and the concerns against Bayer Leverkusen were apparent. You know, we didn't look up for this game. We looked like we had already thought we had won this game already coming into this game. Even the likes of myself were saying this is going to be a 3-0 dubs. This is going to be an easy win. And look what happened.
Speaking sense.
The players approached that game, I wouldn't say with a negative mindset, but it wasn't like a winning mindset. It was just like dull. The game started, and you can tell. And remember, Gianni, I was talking to you about team talks. Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, that second half, which team had the team talk and which team didn't, because as soon as they kicked off, they literally scored.
Yep.
So they saw blood. Yeah, and the manager made them smell blood. Yeah, so this is my problem. If we do not raise our game at home to Bayer Leverkusen, it might be a Kairat. Yeah, where this Bayer Leverkusen are in this game. We already seen this Kofane, whatever his name is, striker up top, give Gabriel.
Oh, he was good. He was good.
Bit of power as well. If we are not up for it, and we're thinking about the finals on whenever it is, the Carabao Cup, then we'll lose this game. But I do think we will get through. I do think we will qualify by hook or by crook.
So you agree with the percentage then?
Yeah. I agree with the percentage.
You just
I hate it.
He spent the last 5 minutes slandering the percentage.
Man, you know how we do, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So Gianni, Taryn, what about you guys? How you guys felt about the performance against Bayer Leverkusen, and what do you think about our chances going forward?
The performance, it seems as if our stinky league form spilled over into the Champions League.
Yeah.
Leading up until, we've been playing stinky football in the league. We saw it spill over to Mansfield. We're like, okay, it's going to end there because Champions League, we've played 6 of our best games in that competition, but, it spilled over. Now, part of that is tactics. Part of that is the wind have gone out of some of the guys. But how I do expect us to go through, but brother, we shouldn't be in this position. I'm sitting there like, God damn, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before going into the game, we're talking about see, I told y'all about stubborn. She done threw me completely off, bro. You know, completely off. But our Premier League performance has spilled over into the Champions League. Going into the first leg, I'm expecting us to have a big performance, 3-0 or something, and end the tie. At the Emirates, I'm not expecting a big performance. I'm expecting a cagey performance, the squeaky 1-0. And when I expect Arsenal to do a squeaky 1-0, what we do, we play well and we blow them out. It could be a comfortable 3-0. You know, I do expect us to go through, but I don't know what to expect anymore because the Champions League performances used to be my saving grace. When you see Martinelli looking bad in the only competition he's looked good in, then yeah, you know, it's there's so much going on. But I saw a clear distinction between 2-15 when Bayern Munich played Atalanta. 1-16 in us and Leverkusen, like an even match.
Yep, facts.
And matter of fact, uneven because I think they were the better team on the day. So you know, the only saving grace, I think, you know, we're at home, and you know, advantage us. This is why you get the number 1 seed. You get the return leg at the Emirates. So you know, I think we will go through. Yeah.
Okay, Gianni. Barring the comment that I just posted here about Cedini here saying that Leverkusen has a better tactician or whatever.
He's right.
He's not wrong.
Also,
right.
Yeah, but also I just want to remind you, Barcelona, for example, when they played Newcastle, where is Newcastle currently in the league?
Like 10th,
10th, 11th,
11th.
They're like 10th or mid-table,
something like that, right? What I'm trying to say is Barcelona are sitting first, at top of the La Liga, and they're one of the favorites to win the whole thing, and yet they drew against Newcastle. And even though I watched the game, Newcastle deserved the win against Barcelona because they gave them a very, very tough game, and yet they managed to grind a draw, the dying minute, a penalty. It's almost very, very similar to what happened to Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen. So do you think it is that type of games where, you know, you grind that draw and you're kind of guaranteed to go through, or not, I would say guaranteed, but your favorites to go through and all that? But what's your take on it?
Well, the problem here is Leverkusen's playing with house money because they knew they shouldn't be this far and they shouldn't even be in this tie, which is worry for us, number one. Number two, the other thing that's worrying about this Leverkusen game that a lot of people haven't talked about is the 3 games that we've lost this year, we've been outmanned in the midfield. When Villa beat us, Villa was collapsing in the midfield to overrun the midfield with players. Leverkusen didn't do that. That's showing how tired the team is because Leverkusen stuck with a 2-man midfield. Andrich, the center back, would step in at times, but majority Garcia ran the whole game. And the fact that this is the first game that's now showing, to like what Terrence said, that our Premier League form is starting to spill over into the Champions League. This is the first game where we haven't been outrun in the midfield and lost. We drew this game and we still had more men in the midfield than Leverkusen had. So this game is a little bit more revealing and makes it a little bit more uncomfortable than what we say because the onus is on us to go and get a goal. And my worry is
approach to knockout is different than the league phase.
Absolutely, it is.
Mm.
Absolutely, it is. This is what's the old saying? This is the time that separates the men from the boys. This is the knockout stage that separates the men from the boys. And again, it's great that we got home field advantage, but let's also look at something here as well when we look at the entirety of this. We should have put this game away in the first round because now look, we have to play our full starting 11 again to guarantee a win, and then we run right into City in the Carabao Cup final. Where 100%. City, if you look at the press conference that Pep Guardiola had today, which was about 30 minutes ago, Pep Guardiola is already indicating that he's putting the entire second team on against Real and are basically forgoing the Champions League. Subliminally, he's saying that. And he's going to rest majority of the starters for the League Cup
final. Because he gave up. That's different. He gave up for the Champions League, right?
No, I don't think he gave up. I think he screwed up and made a terrible mistake because he thought he would win that game easily because of the injuries from Madrid. I think Pep I think Pep misjudged that the bench players and some of these youngsters that Madrid has. But for us, it makes it more interesting now because now we're going to be more open. And what worries me about us being more open also is we didn't see him. He may play. I don't know if he's still being looked at, but if a 19-year-old could do that to Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, what could Schick do? Schick's been one of the best strikers in Europe for the past 4 or 5 years.
I wonder why he was on the bench.
He had just come back from an injury. Schick had just come back from an injury, which is why he didn't play him. And I don't expect him to play against Bayern because I think Bayern is their next game this weekend. But for me, it's putting us in an uncomfortable situation. And then, you know, we can say what we want about the yellow card for Andrich. It is what it is. I'm not even really gonna take that into consideration. And yeah, I agree with you with what you said about Arteta that we didn't deserve to win. But the problem is are you going to let the handbrake go and let us actually go and attack Leverkusen? Because it's one thing to say we didn't deserve to win, but if you go out at home and play the same brand of football again and there's no changes, it's kind of a moot point if you agree with it or not. You're just showing that you got caught out and it is what it is. I mean, for me, Max Dallman should be the starting left winger for this game. I think Dallman and Madueke should be the starting
left
wingers
winger.
and attack them.
Left winger.
Yeah.
As a left winger. Okay. I never seen him play there, so I don't know.
You know what? He can play. If he can play right wing, why can't he play left wing? He can play with both feet. He's a creator. We need to get creativity
talking about the Everton
going.
game. You're talking about the Everton game.
Almond can play anywhere across the front line.
Brother, no. To be honest with you, if you want to give him 30 minutes against Everton to get him warmed up for Leverkusen, do that. If you want to start him against Everton and he's good enough to start him against Leverkusen as well. But he needs to play in the Leverkusen game. The Everton game. Listen, we should be beating Everton, even if we.
I don't think he's going to.
Can I just say something quickly before? Because I'm just going to go and break my fast here. This is where Arteta usually gets found out when there's important games like League, Champions League. We saw it against the Villa game, against the Bayern Munich game, where he didn't rotate correctly. These next 2 games or the next 3 games for me, are absolutely crucial. Yeah,
Waffle, please hold that thought for a second. Hold that thought for a second. This is actually the last topic we're going to talk about because I need to also wrap up. I want your thoughts about this.
I'm here.
I just want your thoughts about this since you've mentioned the next 3-4 games. So, what are your thoughts about these upcoming games? What's your feeling about it? What do you think is going to happen? In your opinion, since you mentioned the upcoming games, it's going to be Prem, UCL, Carabao Cup final, and then an FA Cup.
My delusion, I think we win all games in my delusional thought process, but I do think there's a game there that we will mess up. Maybe it's the City game, I don't know, but there's one game in there that's going to be like, how did we lose that? How did we lose that?
That be the final.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping it isn't the case, but I hear it.
I hope not, man.
Because to me,
man, Waffle, just go break your fast, Waffle. You just brought misery, man, to me, man. Just now.
I see draw, win.
Draw, win. Oh, you were gonna draw against Everton?
I think so. Yeah.
Yikes.
I think Moisey playing for Conference League spot. I think a point is good for them. I think they come set up for a point and give Arteta hell. We don't move the ball quick enough against a Moisey to beat them.
You agree?
No, I actually think that we beat Everton, but I think it's either going to be the FA Cup or the Champions League game where the bad result's going to hit us.
So you think we're going to win the Carabao?
Yes. I'm sticking by what I said a couple weeks ago on your show, Sammy. I'm still a believer in the League Cup and the league. The Champions League we're not winning. The Champions League we're not winning.
You did say that. Yeah, you did say that.
I don't think we're winning, and I think again what worries me with Leverkusen is, like I said, the onus is on us to actually come out. You know, we were let's be honest here. The second half of that game, we were lucky that Leverkusen couldn't put 3 passes together in the final third on our side. Otherwise, they'd have smoked us. Because that 19-year-old striker had all the smoke for Saliba and Magalhaes in that game.
Yeah, he was really good, man.
We were lucky that and if we're being honest, Saka and Timber got taught that the ball was round and not square against Grimaldo. Grimaldo tore us up on our right hand side. He was an absolute nightmare to deal with.
Saka was horrible, Saka.
And Timber wasn't dealing with Grimaldo either. If you look at later on in the game, Grimaldo he juggled Timber and Saka. Timber was getting pushed further into the box towards the end of the game, and it was more so of Rice staying further back to try to cover to stop Grimaldo from creating. I mean, if you looked at how Leverkusen lined up, the 19-year-old was holding up the play, and everybody else was taking like a couple seconds to then catch up with him. We're lucky that they couldn't put any of those plays together because, like I said, that guy Garcia, a lot of the goals that you've seen him score over the years for Leverkusen is outside the box. He's a very good long-range shooter. The 2 shots that he had, he didn't even put on target. He skied them, which normally he can shoot, and they get rebound shots from those type of shots with him. So for me, I don't know. I just didn't like, and the biggest thing on top of it, and this goes across the board, all the Premier League teams look suspect in this tournament now that the referees in Europe are not allowing the grabbing and everything that's going on in the Premier League with the corner kicks. To the point to what we were asking about John Obi Mikel at the beginning of the game. The point that I give him is if you look at all the games across the board in the Champions League, Liverpool got yellow cards because they were grabbing players and the ref said no. Same thing happened with City. Same thing happened with us. Same thing happened with Chelsea. All the Premier League teams are not being allowed to use this corner kick stuff, and it exposed a lot of them. The only one that actually played a good game that wasn't relying on that, to your point, Sammy, was Newcastle. The other 5 were all relying on the corner kick stuff. And once all that got blown out, all the Premier League teams did not look the way that they look inside the Premier League. So for me, I think the Premier League as a whole is going to get a rude awakening after the second leg of the Champions League. And I think Arsenal might be in that group of who gets a rude awakening that some better football is going to be needed than just hoping on some of these corner kick tactics. So for me, I think we beat Everton, but I got a bad feeling about this Leverkusen game. If we get out, I'll be happy, but Leverkusen worries me a little bit more than the other 4 games. City, listen, it is what it is. Yes, they're most likely going to bench majority of the guys against Real Madrid, but even if they do, their players are still showing that they're not the old City. Their midfield is not what it was. Rodri is still not old Rodri yet. Reiners is far from what everybody thought he was. So I still have faith that we win the League Cup. I think the Leverkusen game is the game that we're going to look at as a fuck up, in my personal opinion.
I hope not, because that means our UCL hopes is done. And in that note, guys, I need to wrap up. Thanks all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you guys subscribe. Also, make sure you guys go and subscribe to BBK Sports, WaffleDon, and as well Gianni Talks Calcio TV. All of the channels are in the description. Go show them some love. Go hit the subscribe. That's the least you can do for these gentlemen. And on that note, guys, I would like to say thanks all for tuning in and bless you up. And I hope you have a very safe and sound day. WaffleDon. Takabala, my brother. Hope you're enjoying your breakfast, man. All right. Cheers, guys.
There we go, guys.